Welcome to the United Arab Emirates. Welcome to Dubai. Unlike many countries in the Gulf region, only 5% of gross domestic product for Dubai comes from oil revenues. Dubai sports the largest buildings, the largest malls, and now is host to the largest endurance race at the Dubai Autodrome, the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai. It's January the 15th, 2016, and teams from all over the world have gathered at the Dubai Autodrome, a 5.5 kilometre long track. The event is hosted by Creventic. It's the 11th year and has a record entry of 100 cars.
It's a beautiful circuit. It's one of the most challenging circuits in the world. That's because of the combination of the high-speed corners and the high technical corners. We're fully booked. We have 452 drivers, about over 50 nationalities, not only pros, also semi-pros, and actually drivers that do it for their hobby. Of course, they have the license, but actually this is their hobby.
I would say it's the biggest race in the Middle East, not only Dubai or UAE, in the Middle East for the circuit racing. There is Formula One, okay, but for touring cars, this is the biggest race in all over Middle East that is bringing most of the competitors and most of the drivers from all over the world.
This race is a Happy New Year race and very enjoy, because in Tokyo, in Japan race, January, February, no race, March of started.
I think year after year it's getting stronger. Competition is getting bigger, especially when it comes up like big manufacturers like Audi and Mercedes. And you can see that by yourself. It's getting bigger every year.
Well, this is 11th year, and this thing's just grown in stature. I mean, I've done Daytona 15 times. I've done Le Mans. I've done Nürburgring at least 10 times. I love them all, but this thing's really become great. So much that I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm driving 2 cars today.
Oh, it's fantastic. You know, I've been racing here in Dubai since 2006. So I've been here since almost the start of the 24 hours, and it's always a privilege to be part of. This is one of our blue ribboned events.
A 24-hour endurance race, especially here in Dubai, is surely the ultimate test for teams and cars alike. Why would you choose such punishment?
The team are more involved in 24-hour race. We do a lot of sprint races, but they're a fraction of a second and everything is gone for whole the weekend. So here, even if they make a little mistake, you can still bend it. You can still make it up with your team, with the teamwork. And that's why 24-hour and 12-hour races is more interesting to do than sprint races.
The teams have come from every corner of the globe, but you're not likely to be able to drive your truck all the way to Dubai. The Creventic organisation has made good use of the largest artificial harbour in the world, right here in Dubai.
So only the local trucks are here. We arranged a fully transport of all the containers. We let them go to the ports, for example Rotterdam or Hong Kong, Australia, it doesn't matter. We will arrange everything and they come over here to Dubai. And we also arrange that the container is on his spot, there where near the pit box where the team is. And the only thing they have to do is to open the pit box, they unload it and it can start.
We can use the GPS tracking to see where our car is. So. Yeah, I always look where my car is, of course. But I think it's safe with Creventic. We did it for 10 times, never happened anything, so they organize it very well.
Actually, everything what the team needs is in the container. So the cars, the clothing, repairing stuff, everything the team needs is already in the container.
Dubai Autodrome was built in 2004, was opened in 2004. We hosted our first race, which was the FIA GT Championship as part of the LG Super Weekend. It's a 5.39 length circuit with 6 different variations, of which 4 are used for racing. Creventic, they came on board in 2005 for the first race. It was far different to the race we see now. Creventic have grown like we have grown. We've kind of almost grown together. And all I can say is it's been a pleasure to work with Creventic. They're small, they're effective, and I think that's how motorsport organisations must be.
Oh, the track's amazing. It's got all the kind of sections and you want. It's got the 2 very long straights. of over a kilometer each. It's got lots of really high-speed corners, and it's got some really nice hairpins and some sharp technical sections. It's a driver's circuit, really is.
The circuit's actually very, very technical. So you first look at it and it looks relatively straightforward. But then, once you get the detail of it, there's a lot of little tricks in there which you need to get right. A lot of adverse cambers with you, ups and downs, long corners as well. So you really got to think about it. It's good for the concentration.
Before the race, a showcase of supercars by the Dubai Tourist Police.
This race is our second time we came here. So our job is from Tourist Police is to participate in this event, big event, to provide the visitors here questions about Dubai Police and services and how to reach us. This car is we use it normally on the roads. On certain places in Dubai like JBR, the Palm Jumeirah and downtown Dubai. It's like where is the luxury fancy places in Dubai.
It's Friday, nearly 2 o'clock, and we're ticking down to the start of the 11th Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai.
It's going to be really challenging looking backwards and forward because there's like 100 cars, so it's a challenge.
Well, I always enjoy the start. I always say it's easier to be in the car than watching it. So no, I'm looking forward to the start. It's going to be a very interesting start. 100 cars on the grid. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be hot. And the first 20 minutes is relatively quite easy, but then the leaders start coming up and start taking you, and that's when it gets really interesting.
It's Friday, 2 o'clock, with 98 entries because 2 cars couldn't prepare on time because of the accidents. There was one car that had an accident Wednesday in the private test, and they worked 2 days really hard to repair the car. They just finished it this morning, so he could drive in the warm-up, but unfortunately it had damaged again and couldn't start for the race. And the other car had also an accident yesterday. It was too much damage to repair it, so we have 98 cars at the start grid.
Today the weather seems as good for the racers, and we hope everything pass and good go by safe and no accident. I hope so. I think it will be a very nice race today.
The national flag of the United Arab Emirates is being waved at the start of the 11th Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai. It's a battle between the Audis. The black Seat Racing number 4 started from pole, but the Greenland Motorsport number 28 seems to take the lead after the first corner. However, Seat gets back in the lead again. Another battle going on between the number 2 Black Falcon, Mercedes-Benz, and the 14 Optimum Motorsport for 4th position.
It was amazing. It was a nice, good start. Everyone behaved themselves in the first couple of laps, especially where I was. It was a lot of cars. I mean, you really felt 100 cars on the circuit for the first few minutes. But otherwise, it was really, really enjoyable, really good. Nice, close racing, but everyone was gentlemanly and everyone was well behaved in my area.
There's battles for position all the way through the field, all for different classes, of course. In the first lap of this 24-hour race, it's hectic. A lap around the Dubai Autodrome is about 2 minutes, and Christopher Mies had used that time to stay on the tail of Christy Jons in the number 4 Audi, but the Seat driver can't prevent the Land Motorsport taking over the lead at the start of lap 2.
Oh, the 888's had a good run through the first part of the race. You know, Matt Griffin is a very good, safe, professional driver, and he took the start and did a great job. So, yeah, no problems with the start with either car.
Manuel Nicolaides in the 37 GDL Porsche is not as lucky and is the first one to get the pit crew into gear. A technical issue bringing him down pit lane. Meantime, the faster A6 class cars are at the head of the field and now catching up with the slower classes. Duncan Heisman in the number 18 V8 Racing Mercedes-Benz SLS is using all of the rubber provided by Hankook to keep himself out the barriers. This means he'll have to go into the pits for a new set. Last year's winners not getting a great start, and they were in the pit early.
I think within around 15 laps I had a bit of a brake problem. I lost my brakes, so I couldn't slow down or stop anymore. So I had to come into the pits. They managed to fix it within 3 laps, and I went back out and I carried on, but I had lost a lot of time.
We had a very good race start. Xavier was holding a very simple pace. We had a very simple plan to basically cruise at about 90% maybe for 18 hours and then go from there. There was a Ginetta that lost control by himself near him in the braking zone for turn 1 and unfortunately crashed into Xavier from behind and took him out. And he hit the wall in turn 1 very hard. And actually he just completely destroyed the car, and so we will have to do a different chassis for Mugello. He got a good knock on the head as well. He does have a concussion, but he's been to hospital and everything is going to be fine. He's going to be a couple of days before he knows which way is up again.
We were leading in the 999 class, so with the Porsche Cup cars, but the car stopped on a straight line. So I got on my display fuel pressure, so we thought the fuel pump is broken, but we found it out in the pit lane that there was a problem with the main electric cabling. So the mechanics find it, but we were in the pit lane about I think 20 laps, so we lost so many time and we completely back in the field.
After 2 hours of racing, the field is very close. The top 5 overall on the same lap. The number 14 Audi R8 of Optimum Motorsport is ahead of the number 4 Seat in their Audi R8. In third, the number 11 Scuderia Praha Ferrari 458. In the 997 class, Lac Falcon Racing leading with their number 61 car, and their number 60 is second, but there's 2 laps between them. MSG Motorsport is third in the 991 class with their 62 Porsche. In the TCR class, last year's overall champions, Memac Ogilvy Dual Racing, haven't recovered from 3 laps in the pits at the start of the race. It's NKPP Racing in the lead of the TCR category in the 125. Third position, the CTR Alpha Tune number 126. Last year's winners in the Cup 1 class were the Racing Divas, including Lisette Brahms. She's back here again this year to battle on the track, which is already a win for her, as she's had other battles on her hands in the last few months.
We were first place in our division, in the Cup 1 division, and after that we found out that I've got cancer. So this year I'm back here for the first time. Yes, as long as I can, I will keep racing, because when I'm in the car, I'm not sick. And I need to be concentrating myself on the turns. And so if I can race, I will race, and I'm not going to give up my fight against cancer. And you can see it like the same kind of battle. I want to race to win the podium, and I also want to win the race against my cancer to be alive.
And there's also a thought for some who have lost that battle.
This is an NGO. This is from a very good friend of us. The little boy passed away last year, and we're driving for him here. He always wanted to go to Dubai, so he's here now on the photo, and I hope that he sees it upstairs.
This is the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai, the opening race of the Hankook 24 Hour Series, consisting of 7 races this year, and we'll be at all of them. Last year the championship was contested over 6 races, and the winner of the Hankook 24 Hour Series was Team Memac Ogilvy Dual Racing. This year they have the honour of carrying the number 1. Their family team has 4 drivers, 3 brothers and a close friend.
Nabil Mutran,
Phil Quaife,
Ramsey Mutran, Sami Mutran. Last season was very much about us focusing on what we came out to do. It was very much about every race, taking each race for a race and not really thinking about the championship. We stuck to our plans every time. We made sure we stayed out of trouble. We made sure the car stays out of the garage and maintain a consistent pace and not out driving ourselves and sticking to our own race plan. I think it worked very, very well. It worked in our favour.
Memac Ogilvy advertising company has been our sponsor for a few years, and they've given us a set budget for the year, and we always do whatever we can to make that budget work for us. They've been great partners for us. as well as our technical partners, have been just incredible.
So having won the Hankook 24-Hour Series Championship in 2015, can the team manage to do it again this year?
I think it's always hard to become number one. I don't think you need to say again. I think to do it the first time was hard, and to do it the second time would probably be even harder. I think the expectations on us are high, but we've always put big expectations on ourselves, and it's going to be a tough race. There's a lot of cars. I think it's just about doing what we did last year, which is stay out of trouble, stick to our race plan, and hopefully it all comes together at the end.
With drivers and teams from all over the world, the 24-Hour Series powered by Hankook is one of the most diverse endurance series around. The limit of 100 cars was reached very early on in the entry process. This race is especially important for the teams and drivers from the Gulf region.
We like when people from Europe are coming, and it's very challenging because just compete against local teams is interesting, but not as much compared to big crowd coming from all over the world.
This is my 7th Dubai 24 Hours, and I've done Barcelona with Creventic as well, and I'll keep doing this. I enjoy it, and when we have guests, we need to play with them.
There are a lot of people racing from this area. This year we have 6 drivers from this area. Last year as well we had 5 drivers from Saudi Arabia, and all the 5 drivers finished on the podium. So it was a good year last year.
We've completed 2 hours of racing, and it's still really tight throughout the field with battles for positions everywhere. Problems for the number 3 Mercedes of Abu Dhabi Racing Black Falcon. They were in 5th, and they lose power on the main straight. Just after they've come to a standstill, the car even appears to catch fire.
What you saw on TV was only he was trying to restart, and it was from the excess oil coming out of the exhaust. But there wasn't really any problem with it. It was a problem with the gearbox.
The TCR class leader's in trouble. The Seat of NKPP has hit the barriers. Hubert Haupt is in the Black Falcon number 3. He has to avoid cars who are having their own battles. But it's not just at the top of the field, you need to keep your wits about you. Chris James is leading the Cup 1 class in the 151 BMW, but he pushes too hard and jeopardises the lead. Things could be worse though.
Elle s'est mise à chauffer, on a perdu la courroie en fait d'alternateur.
He saw some smoke, some oil alarm, the water alarm, so he slowed down, and then he saw something was not normal, so he said box, 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 because he wanted to come back to the pit, and then suddenly the car went into, the car bumped into the barrier.
As the cars in each of the classes have been balanced against each other, it is hard to beat your in-class competitors.
Many times overtake same class, but timing is very similar, so not easy. But thinking about the next corner, 3 next corner, and thinking about it and how to overtake.
The 151 is in difficulty again. Chris James is able to get out of the car, but his race is finished. The 146 with Ricardo Flores is, however, able to get back to the pit lane under its own power. The team will take an hour and a half to get the car back on track.
I go my normal line and I drive inside with normal fast. It's not so fast, easy. When we go inside, he come outside and come back, and he take around and make a turn off, and I switched in the door. Sorry.
So what's it like to be a driver in the lower classes? Is it still exciting to race between these faster cars?
It's phenomenal. It's my first 24-hour. We're in the slowest class, but the feeling is just amazing, totally amazing.
There's a great family atmosphere in the 24-hour series paddock. Off-track, teams are friends, especially when things go wrong.
The SEAT, I went up to see the guys to see if we could offer them any assistance. We're based locally here at Dubai, and unfortunately the accident was Gino's fault, so it was only right that we went up and offered them help. But no, they're cool. They had all the spares laid out. They didn't need our help, and their car's back out running.
No luck for the 88 car. Retirement, I'm afraid. Abu Dhabi Racing Black Falcon number 2 was in 5th position, but there's been a collision.
I was on the inside and he kept coming across over to my side. Eventually I had to go on the curb, but then the car bottoms out and you go straight, so we touched. I mean, he should have seen me. In the end, you know, you need to anticipate on people not seeing you as well, so partly I should take the blame on me as well.
I think we have finished
but my engineer said to me, please start the engine and go, and after the accident, good time with new tires.
Throughout its history, the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai has proved itself an entertaining event for drivers, teams and spectators. It's now traditional that at 8 o'clock in the evening, after 6 hours of racing, the organisers Creventic put on a firework display. After 6 hours of racing, Scuderia Praha Ferrari have taken over the lead. The best of the Audis is from Land Motorsport in second, and Black Falcon have their Mercedes-Benz in third. There's 15 entrants in the SP3 category. Leading is the 284 Ginetta of the Italian team Nova Race. They have just 4 seconds of a lead over the Brits of Optimum Motorsport in the 223 Ginetta. The number 102 BMW of Dutch team JR Motorsport are third. The Cup 1 class is for BMW M235 Racing Cup cars. It's QSR with the 148 leading. Second place Bonk Motorsport with the 145. The Duo Racing 235 is in third, 2 laps behind second position. The clerk of the course and his team are responsible for ensuring that all the teams comply to the regulations.
Sometimes this is very needed. For example, if the drivers have too long stints or driving out of over the track limits, then we have to penalize them.
The clerk of the course not just bound to the TV monitors, he's wandering around as well.
When we walk around the track and the pit lane, sometimes we see things that don't is following the rules, and then we say something to the teams what to do, and if necessary we give them a penalty for that. For example, we had some car working in the paddock for a wheel change, and that's not possible. That must be in the pit lane. So that's the reason we send them away.
In endurance racing, and particularly in a 24-hour race, it's a fine balance between keeping up your pace and avoiding incidents. Go off the racing line, your tyres pick up debris, you lose grip, and you could be off the track. But your car needs to be reliable too, as if you're recovered back to the pits, that will cost you time too. The Black Falcon number 16 is also closing in on the leaders. But it's bad news for the sister Black Falcon number 3 Mercedes-Benz. It looks like the Danish Renault Clio of AD Racing in the A2 class has an aversion to the circuit signs. However, when we look from another angle, we can see that Mikael Johnson is trying to steer his car with the right front wheel pointing in the wrong direction. The Ferrari of Scuderia Praha, the number 11 car, has taken the lead and developed a little bit of a gap.
I was at turn 4 or 5 and all of a sudden the throttle just quit. So there's a fly-by-wire throttle system and sensor, something went bad. I reset everything but had no throttle, finally figured out that I could get it in gear and drive it back on idle. I was concerned about the small hills, but it made it in and coasted into the pit lane.
Thomas Martinson is in the SP3 class, but his race is cut short when race leader Matteo Cressoni miscalculates and hits the 51 Ginetta. The heavy impact led to a code 60. That took us to midnight, the start of Saturday the 16th of January 2016. With the Ferrari out, the Audis are back in the lead. Land Motorsport in first position with the number 28. Then it's the 19 of the Belgian Auto Club team WRT. Third position, Black Falcon and their 16 Mercedes-Benz. The SP2 class has Porsche Lorient Racing leading. Another French team, Vortex V8, has their GC Automobile number 203 in second. And the Mark Focus number 92 of Mark Cars Australia is in third. The A3 class is dominated by Team Ultran. Their Peugeot 208s are just a lap apart. The number 208 is leading, the number 205 in second. It's the 99 Seat Leon Super Copa of RKC TGM is in third. The Dubai Autodrome is the venue for the opener of the 2016 Hankook 24-Hour Series. There's plenty of activity going on in the darkness, not just from the teams, but from the spectators too.
Yeah, there are a lot of spectators here at the event, not only on the grandstand but also in the paddock, they can walk around, they can make a talk with the drivers, they can watch at the teams. I think for everybody is something to do here in the paddock.
Yeah, night it was very nice because we opened the shop with lights and everything, and this year more than the other years, during the night we still have lot of people, and that's very nice because we see that each year Creventic improve this race. You have more public each time, and also during the night.
Yeah, it's a lot of activity for some of our merchandising. It's good for people who come to see the race. But our main job is to help the drivers.
Oh, it's very great to see in the desert a racetrack, and then you find food, you find everything, fireworks, stunt people. It's great, it's special.
On Wednesday we have a welcome barbecue. Every team or driver can come to the barbecue, and we have the winners of the 2015 series powered by Hankook.
It was something very special because they have raced all the year. And we give the prize of the end of the season. So, it's a moment where you have a lot of emotion, and it's also at the same time the first race of the year. So it was something quite special, and all the drivers were quite happy to have this gift from BRM.
The winners of the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai will take home BRM watches. But BRM is also sponsoring the special trophy that will be handed out to the winners and 2 runners-up from all of the classes.
Motorsports is dangerous, so the thing that we give at the end of the race, it needs to be something very high level for our point of view. It's something that BRM built. We don't buy the trophies, and we make the trophies exactly like the watch. We're matching in all the pieces, even the screw. To put the plates, it's the same screw of the watch that we build by our own. So it's something very special, and we will be very happy to offer this to the driver.
The clean-up from the accident at the final corner is still going on under the Code 60. It's taken a long time to clear the track. After hard work by the marshals, the Code 60 is lifted and the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai can continue. Connor De Filippi, the American driver, is behind the wheel of the leading Audi, the number 28 of German team Land Motorsport.
It's always hard to try to keep the lead here. It's very competitive, and obviously 24 hours is a long race, so to keep doing a good job for that long is not so easy. Yes, there's never been an Audi that has won this race. I know it's primarily been the Mercs that have been winning this event. But obviously we're in an Audi, and we're running strong at the moment. We've been battling for the lead first and second, so hopefully we'll be able to break that record.
Back on track, the number 8 RS01 Renault of Boots Engineering Racing. They've had their fair share of troubles. And now there's problems for the other Belgian team, Gravity Racing. The number 6 Mercedes needs to be collected from the side of the track, and that means another Code 60. One of last year's winners is Mark Cars Australia. This year, they're not having the best of luck. The 91 Mark Focus is in the garage connected to a laptop with Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We just had a steering issue with this car. The steering rack, we've just had a problem with the electrics in it, so unfortunately we can't fix it at the moment. We're still trying. We have an engineer from Australia who is logged online and trying to fix the code and reprogram it, so maybe we can get out for the last half of the race.
2 o'clock in the morning and we're halfway through the race. Land Motorsport still leading, followed by Belgian Audi Club Team WRT. It's the Austrian team Conrad Motorsport who have taken 3rd overall. The first A6 AM car is the number 10 Hofer Racing Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. Second in A6 AM and 7th overall is the 22 Pressy Spark Mercedes-Benz. The third in class, the number 34 Car Collection Audi. In the A2 class, it's the number 216 Renault Clio of Hong Kong-based Modena Motorsports leading, ahead of the Mini Cooper of Besserplas Racing in second. VDS Racing Adventures have their number 173 Honda Civic in 3rd place. The number 16 car of Black Falcon has a story behind it. It's not the car they originally entered. On Thursday, a fuel leak set the car alight and engulfed the car in flames. Patrick Assenheimer, the driver, escaped with second-degree burns, but the car was not salvageable. Fortunately, the team had a replacement car, although it wasn't meant as such when it arrived.
We raced in the 12 hours of Abu Dhabi last month, and we brought the car with us just to put it as a display because it's the winning car from last year. So it was a good idea to bring it. And the team took it, and now it's entered, and hopefully we can have a good result in it.
And he started at the end, but already after 3 hours on the 6th place. So it's tremendous.
We're using the setup that the team ran last year, and once it's a bit warm, it's a little tricky, but in these conditions, she's a missile. She just keeps on going.
It's 2 o'clock, it's middle of the night. We have raced for 12 hours now. It's still 12 hours to go, but when it's night, it doesn't mean there is no action. It's a 24 hours race, so 24 hours race and 24 hours battles, and the cars are going to the max.
Until now, it runs very good. We are in the class, we are 4th and 5th place, but we'll have to wait. There's still 12 hours to go. So
a lot of dust, very, very slippery, and a lot of traffic too. And if you change the line, you are in trouble because you take on the tires, the rubber, the dust, and so on. And when you arrive at the braking, it's so difficult to turn.
I sometimes feel sorry for the guys in the slower cars because you're always flashing them to let them know you're there and trying to position your car so they understand what you're trying to do. But yeah, you're always thinking. Every straight, every corner, there's normally 4 or 5 cars need to be negotiated, so you're always busy. There's no time to rest.
At 3 o'clock in the morning, the tank was braked. There was a carbon part on a track, and we drive over, and he hit the tank. We have it on the side of me. Yeah.
For every moment of the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai, the drivers must stay alert. Going off the track will always cost you more time than having a little patience and waiting for a bigger gap. There's a problem for the HRT Performance Porsche, but as it's close to the pit lane, it can cross the track and not lose too much time. Overall lead is still in the hands of Land Motorsport, but at 5 o'clock in the morning, they lose the lead when Connor De Felipe is standing still on the track.
Unfortunately, during my late night stint, or early morning rather, we ran out of fuel. We made a small calculation mistake, and so we lost about 5 or 6 laps. We had to be pulled back to the pit lane and refueled, and then from there we just kept fighting, and now here we are.
The surroundings in Dubai are beautiful, especially at night, but obviously the drivers are more keen to keep an eye on the other cars in their class. That's what's important to them.
We have 9 classes this year, and yes, we have an overall winner, but in all the classes there's an own competition with the own winner. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. In about 1 hour the sun will come up. There's a lot of competition right now in the different classes. A lot of cars are still in the competition, and they're really battling for their positions.
At 6 o'clock in the morning, it's the 19 Audi of WRT that profited from the fact that Land Motorsport ran out of fuel. Second, Conrad Motorsport with the 26 Lamborghini Huracan, with the number 16 Black Falcon Mercedes in third. The Cup 1 class is all BMW M235 Racing Cup cars. It's Belgian team QSR who leads. They've got a 6-lap lead over their Luxembourg neighbours of Duo Racing. Bonk Motorsport in third. The SP3 class is dominated by British entries, and the top 3 are all Ginetta G55s. Optimum Motorsport in the number 223 leads, the 178 of CWS 4x4 is in second, and third in class the 229 of Century Motorsport.
We still have 8 hours to go to the finish, and in those 8 hours everything can still happen.
Sunrise is just around the corner, so there'll be plenty of racing to come in daylight. On Wednesday, the teams had the first opportunity to test on the circuit. What was really unexpected was the rain.
You're absolutely right. It was unexpected for us as well. It was a big surprise for us. And we had enough wet tires with us. Out of the 7,500 tires, there are 2,500 pure wet tires, which we bring to Dubai for this race.
Right throughout the event, the Hankook tyre crew are available for the teams.
The engineers arrive on Tuesday, I arrive on Monday. A lot of the workers, maybe 50%, arrived already last week, Saturday. And as soon as the work starts, it means up from Wednesday, when we go out for the first time on track, we have the full crew here available. We are busy up from the very first second of the race until 20 hours, 22 hours. We are full busy. And the last 2 hours, we only demount the tires for the teams. But for 22 hours, we are really full busy.
The organisers, Creventic, arranges for the shipping of the cars, the teams and others, but Hankook have opted to make their own shipping arrangements.
7 containers come from Europe, 8 containers have come from Korea, and in total we have 15 containers with around 7,500 tires here in Dubai. The container arrangement is done by Hankook Tires because we know when the tires are ready for shipment, we know where we have the tires, so therefore we use all the service from Creventic which is possible for us, but the tire is under our control.
The number 19 Audi of WRT is still leading. The Black Falcon 16 was second, but under pressure from the 28 of Land Motorsport, he drops back to third overall. 6:30 in the morning, and if you like driving in the night, well, that's nearly over. It's still pitch black, but in this part of the world, it only takes about half an hour to turn night into day. Seeing the sunrise is, however, an experience to enjoy.
Yeah, it's fantastic because you saw the sun rise, and it's a good feeling because you begin to see the track, you begin to improve your time, and you begin in the night, you finish the sunshine. It's fantastic.
See the sun come up is fantastic. So I was lucky enough to be out there, the sun just rising off there, so it's beautiful, absolutely lovely.
And for most, racing in daylight will improve your lap times.
It seems a lot more space out there now, and you can actually enjoy picking them off one at a time as opposed to 10 cars at one corner. So yeah, for sure it's easier, but the stress level's heightened because we've obviously got a nice cushion, so we don't want anything to go wrong.
The 72 Porsche of HRT Performance manages to get to the pits by itself, but Mikhail Spiridonov isn't that lucky in the 12 Lamborghini. The car has crashed with such an impact that Lippert Motorsport will have no way to repair it. The force of the impact was demonstrated by the headlamp unit, catapulted from the car and coming to a stop some 40 metres from the incident. Fabio Bambini is third overall, but now struggling to get back to the pits. But this is due to totally different circumstances.
I have a problem just one lap before my stop, and I'm not arrived to the pit. I decided to go out to push the car because it's very close to the pit. The mechanic is not possible to come to me to help me. I push in. It's clear it's a mistake. I'm not happy for this, but it's a race. And again, it's 5 hours. I'm happy for the result now, but it's pushing for arrive for the podium.
Race tyres are perfectly round, except when they're square. Have a look at the number 85 Speedlover Porsche. Most modern road cars have ABS, but some race cars have it removed to give the driver more control. But if you have to brake hard, all that fine rubber that's been supplied to you is left as a tyre mark on the track like a pencil eraser. And with a flat spot, it makes it harder to brake for the next corners. Despite everything that can go wrong, a lot more is going right. Most team and drivers will walk away 6 hours from now with the knowledge that they had a great weekend.
I love endurance races. The sprint race is something, but endurance is not about how fast car you have. It's about how much consistent and how much energy you can spend and what kind of a team player you are. And it's a really career builder. You learn step by step, and you gain 10,000 seconds here, 10,000 seconds there, and you learn that track much better.
Leaving the track is the Dragon Racing AAA Ferrari.
Doing the overtaking is a matter of trust and respect, and 90% of the trust is on your shoulders and 10% is on the car you're overtaking, and unfortunately, you get it right only some of the time, and it was the lightest of touches.
Stint was great. I think now the field is all settled now, and everybody's behaving. Enjoyed my last ride. I think I'll be going again.
They had an engine problem. They changed the engine during the night, and now they have a clutch problem, so the car is called back. but I think they will make it run again. We will finish the race. That's why we do it. You have to be at the start and you have to be in the end. It doesn't matter how many the engine does it cost. At the end, you have to be on the start-finish line.
10 o'clock in the morning, and after 20 hours of racing, still nothing is decided. Belgian Audi Club team WRT has a 2-lap lead over the 28 of Land Motorsport. Chasing the 2 Audis is last year's Mercedes-Benz of Black Falcon. In the A2 class, it's between Besserplas Racing and Lap 57 Racing Team. However, they both have penalties against them, which means laps will be deducted at the end of the race. So Team K Riser could still be in with a chance of the A2 class win without having to pass the 2 cars ahead of them. In the TCR class, and after a hiccup in the first hour, last year's championship winner Memak Ogilvy Dual Racing has picked up 2016 where it left off in 2015. A 17-lap lead over the Zest number 130 in second, NKPP Racing in third. 2016 has seen an increase in the competitors coming from East and Southeast Asia. How important is racing, and especially the 24-hour series powered by Hankook, in that region?
Japanese races few GT3 cars. Dubai is much more than Japan GT3 cars. So high speed, so exciting.
Asia 24 is nothing because maybe it's a team, no team, and many fee. But this 24 race is a worldwide coming.
It's an international big event, and everybody in Hong Kong, Asia knows about it. They are looking at TV and checking the news. So this is a big event for Asia.
I think this 24-hour race should be go to Asia because the Chinese racing fans, they could like to do the endurance also.
For the last 5 hours, Car 19 has been in the lead, a total of 169 laps led. So, what about this Belgian team?
You know, the team WRT is a really good team since the beginning, and it's the top team for the Audi. The teammates, Laurens Vanthoor, Stuart Leonard, Michael Meadows are the great teammates. We are first at the moment, and I hope so finish first. We never know until the checkered flag.
Yeah, it's finished when it's finished. That's really the truth. For sure, sometimes it's a bit of luck. In the night, there were some situations. It's only luck, for sure.
Well, at one stage you were P1 with a lap in our pocket, but unfortunately we had electrical issues and that lost it for us.
Christian Engelhardt has brought his Lamborghini into the pit from third overall.
I was slowly losing power more and more. Don't need 6th gear anymore around here. 5th gear is enough, and of course it's hard to drive like this. If you take somebody, you get overtaken back directly on the next straight, and so at the moment they're checking that. I have no idea. I just came out of the car. We hope we can finish the race. Now we have to find out what's the problem.
The number 47 GDL Team Asia has created more white smoke than when the Pope gets elected. A problem for the number 28 Audi. They led for 193 laps and in second place have had to retire late in the race. Half an hour to go and drama strikes the third place number 26 of Conrad Motorsport. They'd been battling against engine problems and that's come back to haunt them. A trail of smoke heralds the end of the Lamborghini motor. It's a real shame for the team who'd been in the top 5 since the first third of the race.
When I was in the car, the problem actually started and we were losing power slowly, bit by bit. And at one point it stayed constant, and we were talking with the technicians and we decided we continue to drive, and we were going for the podium. It was going to be a tough fight now in the last stint with Abt Audi. But we had now, after the pit stops, a gap of over 1 minute for half an hour. So even though the pace was bad, I think it could have been enough. So we tried everything. In the end, the engine failed. That's racing.
The last lap, and even more drama. Just half a lap to go for Alex Autumn, but he won't make it to the finishing line.
There was no other car involved. Maybe he was also a little bit nervous because his was his first 24-hour race, his first time in Dubai, and then he drove the last stint, which is a very special thing for every driver here at the Graventic Series and also in Dubai. And maybe he was a bit too nervous, and then it happened.
The checkered flag is ready for the number 19 of Belgian Auto Club Team WRT. It's the first time a Belgian team have won the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai, and the first time in 11 years that an Audi has won. With an Audi in third as well, head of Audi Customer Racing Romulo Liebschen is very happy.
I think it was the last big endurance race we didn't won so far with our GT3 cars, and now we did it. I think now we won everything, so I'm absolutely overwhelmed.
The pit lane is filled with family, teams and fans. They welcome the top 3 overall to the podium, but in the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai, this is always done in a very particular way. The drivers who brought the cars across the finish line are brought to the podium on camels. And taking that honour this year, Laurent Vantour, Oliver Morley and Christa Jones. All the cars that finished the race are on the main straight, so it's time for the podium ceremony. It is overall Belgian Audi Club Team WRT with the number 19 Audi. Second, the Mercedes-Benz of Black Falcon. Third, the Seat Racing number 4 Audi. Fourth overall is the A6 AM class winner, the number 10 of Hoffer Racing. The 991 class won by the number 40 of Lechner Racing Middle East. The SP2 category is won by the 64 Porsche Lorient in SP3. Century Motorsport take the victory. Full championship points for the TCR class are awarded to the number 1 of Memac Ogilvy Dual Racing. The A3 class is won by Team Ultron and then Peugeot 208. It's Bezoplas Racing who wins Class A2. In the Cup 1 class, it's QSR that wins with the number 148.
Oh my God, I can't really describe. It's really nice, a nice feeling. I'm really proud to finish first in the class in my home country.
This weekend also saw the announcement of the new Touring Car Endurance Series, which in addition to the Silverstone race, will go to 2 other races later on in the year.
We are very proud to announce we have another race coming to our series. That's at the Slovakia Ring. That will be in June. And also, we're also proud to announce that we have another race that will be in September in Meppen, Germany.
The Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai is over. Many teams have decided to stay a couple of days longer and enjoy the beautiful beaches of Dubai, where they can celebrate their win together or reflect on the things that kept them from winning. Undoubtedly, they'll be looking forward to the Hankook 24 Hours of Dubai 2017. We, however, look forward to the next race in this FIA series, the Hankook 12 Hours of Mugello. We'll see you there.